Hello, I'm Clarity. Woo! I don't know if how loud that was, but I'm Clarity, and you're gonna get to know a little bit about me. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Um, I will say this is really ultimately God given. I've always had like the pull to music, especially on my mom's side, and later on my dad's side when he was more into jazz. My mom was more into classical music, and I was really mostly drawn to classical music, Chopin, Beethoven, all of the above. So I would say that. The answer I normally would tell to people is since I came out the womb, I don't have a specific time or date. Like I told you earlier, I think music was really God given. Yeah, I would say since I came out the womb. I have so many, including mine, but I have so many. I love the Lord, Whitney Houston. Influenced by Richard Smallwood, God rest his soul. He is really one of my favorite gospel composers as well. He not only did gospel, but movie soundtracks and everything, and that's kind of ultimately what I really want to do. What inspired me is really the lack of authenticity within music today, the lack of authenticity and the lack of meaning behind music today. We need to have really a layout of what we really do like musically. Music is another language, and what I was literally telling somebody not too long ago, music tells a story. It could tell a story of like when you're sad, angry, depressed, or like when you're happy, or it can literally tell a story of you may feel this way, but there's a turnaround. And I'm praying that that's what my music brings to people, that it gives hope, not only, you know, with hope through people, but ultimately through God Himself. I try to add different genres and create my own. With that, I tell a story of I may feel like this, but there's a solution to why I don't let these feelings overcome and overtake me. And again, I pray that this, help bless the listeners. There are days where you just feel down and stuff, and a lot of times I just come to the piano and just play how I feel. It's therapy for me, and that's a lot of times how I make. Like my parents would say this, sometimes when you feel certain ways, that'd be like the best time you make music. And I noticed that within myself. As long as you put effort to what'll benefit you, and that'll really kind of keep you safe, because music is really a therapeutic safe space. Yeah, you can create whatever you put your mind to, and even you may think that it's like it may not be sounding good because I feel like this. Other people may listen to it and be like, I feel that. But yeah, there are definitely times where I felt down, but I eventually felt better, because a lot of times when I listen back to my music, I'd be like, oh, this actually really sounds good. And so from there, I start writing, and the rest is history. My song Reflection, um, it was really a question, what is my reflection show? It's really sung throughout the song, because a lot of times we go through our day-to-day lives and we don't often get a chance to look really what's inside of ourselves. We may look at the outside, like, oh, I look good, yeah, I look fly. But a lot of times we don't really look inside ourselves, and people try to escape from that. And I want to bring the attention that we need to look inside, because what's inside can reflect the outside, especially if you don't get it right. So, yeah, the way I play, it's more graceful and very soft to the touch. Like I used to get fussed a lot by my piano teacher at times because she'd be like, "No, you have to play harder and stuff," and I'm like, "No, that's just not how I am." So I would say very soft touch and very romantic. It depends on the song that I play and that I played recently, and it was full of like hard moments, like you had to really kind of bang on the piano, and that terminology, it was called, I think, storm and drog, pretty much storm and thunder lightning type of thing. So I imagine like a thunderstorm at times. A lot of times you just use your imagination, but even with using your imagination, you can really kind of convey to your audience like, this is what I'm trying to impute. Yeah, I say it depends on the song. A combination of both. At one point, it used to be just by ear, and there are times where I use my ear. Some people say, well, not some people, but a lot of people say I have perfect pitch, and that's if I hear a note, I can identify what it is. Like that's C, for example. Um, so I would say a little bit of both. I was blessed to learn how to read music and being able to listen to certain things because when I was younger, like 2 years old, I would literally just play block chords all the time and really study like this is C, this is D, or like just really kind of practice within myself like this is what this is. And I did ear training at a very young age without even realizing it. And now that I'm in college, I'm like, oh, like this paid off. I would say um, I try my best to be authentic in everything that I do. There are moments where I am looked at a certain way because I may not do everything that everybody, do and well, yeah. But I may not do everything that other people are doing, and especially me being an independent artist, it's kind of hard, well, a little more hard to, put yourself out there, which is why um, one of these days, I would really love. Oh my goodness! But yeah, I would really love to create a music production company very soon, which is ultimately why I'm here. But yeah, I would ultimately love to create a music production company that will help independent artists that do not want to be a part of the system. But yeah, I want to give people an opportunity to show their voice the right way, the proper way. But yeah, I will say sometimes, I do kind of get looked at in a certain way because I don't do like everybody else, and I plan to keep it that way. Sometimes the best thing you can do is stay at home, put a camera in front of you, and just sing, and you could get millions of views right there. You don't have to be everywhere, you know what I'm saying, doing like TikToks and da 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 da. Like all of these people will come along in your life. And that was something that I'm learning now. This year especially, the beginning of 2026 was the best year yet. I met so many great musicians and great artists within this year. And it's only April. So, yeah, I'm I'm figuring out that sometimes your growth is not the next person's growth. It's all within God's timing. Yeah, I would love to travel abroad. I would love to work along with like even video game production, like stuff like that. My sister would tell me all the time, like there are certain tracks that I don't have lyrics for because she's like, this would go great with like a Sonic, Sega, like something of that nature, Mario, Nintendo or Sega. Like if you're like watching this, like hit me up. So yeah, those are the avenues that I would love to kind of get into as well. Oh, me? Okay. My piano skills a year from now? I would say way better than where I am right now because I'm constantly growing like every day. My proudest moments. I have so many. I would start to say when I was younger, I did this piano competition and I got superior. Like I was 9 or 10, and that was kind of big for me because as a black girl, you don't really see a lot of that, and it just kind of really meant a lot to me at that moment. And I would even go as far to say now, my proudest moments, I'm collaborating with choral students. I'm collaborating like orchestrally in some way, shape, or form. I would go back to say last night. I played for LSU Gospel Choir, and they had a whole mini orchestra, like an orchestral ensemble, playing along with me and my other colleague, and it was an experience to remember. So it's little stuff like that, and it's really kind of catapulting me, I would say, to something that I really want to do in the future. So yeah, I would say those are really my proudest moments. Now, this Debussy piece, Sweet Bergamasque, if I'm saying this correctly, I really associate this with a warm love feeling. I honestly might just mix it up and do both. A lot of people say, or one of Debussy's most famous songs, Clair de Lune, might be romantic, but to me it's more of a warm thing since that's where my name comes from. But I'm gonna be playing Sweet Bergamasque. Now this piece, well, for our Gen Zers, we say crash out. This piece literally is the definition of crash out. This is Rachmaninoff's C-sharp prelude. I think it's called Moscow Bells or Bells of Moscow. If I'm saying that wrong, I'm sorry. But this is the definition of a crash out song, and you will hear why in a second. Now this piece really can invoke loneliness, a bit of emptiness in a sense. Although this piece is called Liar by Naomi Kato, you can feel either sad, melancholy, all the above when it comes to that list, but it's really beautiful. It's really beautiful. Now, my original song, Reflections, I will be playing and singing for you all. Yes, I can sing. Be sure to get my single that will be out everywhere. This song is mostly about the question that I stated earlier. What does your reflection show? And the song speaks for itself.